me to sing? You're definitely the first horse I've ever serenaded. Two horses come roaming in the merry month of May, to graze in the shade of the apple tree there. The first one is brown and the second is grey. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Aha! A roan for Lady Stephanie. Thank you, Henry.
Ah! Watch what you're doing! There's people walking here!
I hope I can be of some...
Can we trade?
If you've got the... Good luck to you.
Let's talk.
God be with you. Goodbye. No! You're not to ride a horse, idiot.
Lovely and warm.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Lady Stephanie of Talmberg sent me to...
And what would she like? Fine clothes from Venice, exquisite spices from Arabia, jewels from Germany?
Wine. Good wine.
Ah.
Ah?
Would beer be enough?
As a gift for a noble woman's wedding? No, it definitely wouldn't.
Then that's going to be a problem. I gave the last keg of good wine away as a prize for the archery competition tomorrow.
Shit. Isn't there anywhere else where I could find the wine?
Unfortunately not. I have the exclusive right to sell and buy that particular vintage. No one else in the region will stock it.
Can I enroll in the competition?
But of course. Go to the shooting range above Rattay.
But what if I don't win the competition?
Then you'll have to persuade the winner to part with some truly excellent wine.
I suppose I'll just have to find a way to get it.
I'm sorry, there's nothing more I can do to help. I'll be with you.
Yeah.
God save. What can I do for you?
I've heard there's a contest happening, and that the prize is a keg of fine wine.
That's true. I bought the finest wine to be had in the province.
I'd like to take part.
Do you know the rules?
I don't.
You shoot 7, 13, or 21 arrows, depending on who you're shooting against. The straw surround is worth 1 point. The white ring 2, and the bullseye 3. Whoever finishes shooting first gets 3 extra points. The round ends when everyone has finished shooting, and whoever has the most points wins. It's the custom to wager on it, to make it more interesting, see? The better archers you shoot against, the higher the stakes.
All right, that seems straightforward.
Just one more thing. Don't leave while the contest is underway, and never aim or shoot at anything but the target. Otherwise, you're out. Got it?
Got it.
Splendid. Here's some arrows for you. But you can use your own if you want. Meanwhile, I'll round up the competition. Good luck. Congratulations once more. And here, as promised, a cask of the finest wine in the province.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey! What do you want?
Can I
Certainly. For how long?
just the one?
No problem.
Here you are.
You've got it all.
Yeah.
My respects to you.
Is there any work you could give me?
That depends. Maybe you haven't noticed, but we've got a bit of a problem.
I'm listening.
We've got a human captive we pulled out of the river. I've an idea what to do with him, but I need a little help. I have my own plans for him, but I need a bit of help.
I'll help you. I've got some unfinished business with the Cubans.
I'm guessing you're from Skalitz, then.
I am.
Very well, then. I plan to question the bastard and find out where he hid all the plunder he's been taking.
All right. I'll get it out of him.
Do you speak Hungarian?
No, I don't.
Then you won't get anything out of him. But if you want to help, you can. A little down the river is a mill. The men said there's a vagrant there who swears in Hungarian when he's playing dice. You could go there and find out if he knows any more than curses.
All right. I can handle it.
Thanks. God be with you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Isn't that... What? Shit! Henry!
Henry! Here!
Is it even him? Henry!
I'm glad to see you.
Matthew! Fritz! You're alive!
Of course we're alive.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody joker.
Tell us what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Rattay that I got back in my right mind.
And I see you're not doing too badly for yourself. What are you up to?
Right now, I'm a squire for Sir Radzig.
I see you've worked your way up.
And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits. Owe the monastery a bundle. And there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
No one's interested in two good carpenters in Sasau.
No one.
And we looked everywhere.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
Well, I can ask around, but I'm not promising anything.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt. Don't you worry.
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Skalitz, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sasau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work.
What other neighbours of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we helped Teresa, but who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I was the one who helped her get out of Skalitz. She lives with her uncle in a mill in Rattay.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work? I'll be with you.
I am honoured that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
Are there any problems around here?
Well, it depends what you're willing to do. There was one troublemaker around here not long ago, but we dealt with him. He was selling some relics and he claimed were miraculous, but it was nothing but worthless trinkets. The villagers sent the bloody swindler packing so fast you couldn't see his heels for dust. All the way to the Dechko, I believe. I reckon he won't last long there either. And it occurs to me, of course, it's your own Skalitz folk need the most help. There's some of them at the monastery. I talked to Johanka a few times, and she's working her fingers to the bone, taking care of the injured ones there. I'm sure she'd welcome some good Samaritan who would lighten her load. That's all I can think of.
Can I sleep here?
I suppose I could find... For how long?
Just the one night?
No problem. But you pay...
Here you are.
You'll like it here.
Where do I go to sleep?
On the upper floor of the inn. There's steps up to it outside. Your chamber is the one in the middle. Farewell.
Hey, Goodman. A word with you.
I am at your service, Sir Knight.
Do you want something?
I do. And you look like the kind of fellow who knows a thing or two and wouldn't mind a bit of work that's not entirely, well, honest.
What's it about?
I'm looking for someone who knows how to dip her pockets. For a reward, of course.
Well, then it's lucky for you that I happened along. Who do you want me to rob?
There's a farmer who lives in the craftsman's yard. He made a killing supplying vegetables to the monastery. I worked for him for a while, but then he threw me out without even paying me for my labour. I'd like you to steal the groschen he owes me. And also a pouch containing an amulet he got from the herb woman. He's as superstitious as an old crone, so when he realises he's lost it, he'll have a fit.
Sounds easy enough.
It ain't quite that easy, otherwise I'd handle it myself. That fucker don't trust no one, and he's always looking over his shoulder. If you manage to nick his pouch and his coin, you can keep the groschen as a reward.
May the Lord watch over you. My breath is... The sun may burn, the sun may shine, but do not wither mine. The sun he hides behind the clouds. He found the snag. Hides best with his eyes and his eyes. The sunset clouds.
I'm at your service.
Are you in need of a helping hand, Master Butcher?
Up an hand? No. But I've got a problem with supplies.
I understand. The roads aren't safe these days.
No, that's not what I meant. Beef and pork I can get plenty of. But the burghers here have a taste for aristocratic food. And maybe you can help me with that.
You want me to poach game?
Heaven forbid I would ever suggest such a thing. No. You would have to get it by, other means.
I don't want to spoil your plans, but game doesn't grow on trees.
No, but if you happen to be walking in the woods and, came across something, if you see what I mean.
All right. Let's say I'll take a walk in the woods and I'll come across something and bring it to you.
Excellent. I'm glad to see you speak. Get me a wild boar for now, so I can see what you can do. Good luck to you.
What? Got it for you right here.
Huh. I know you. I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from?
What?
Of course, my dream. You were in a boat made of bone.
All right.
That dream. Yes, that dream has come true. I dreamt that a young man would be...
And that's supposed to be me?
Who else? What's your name?
Oh. Henry.
So, Henry, are you ready to become my...
First, tell me, who are you?
Me? I am an unworthy, low, and miserable servant of Providence. Scholar or merchant, believer or heathen. Without home or kin, I wander this world with ointments, relics, aromatic herbs, rare spices.
Put me an ale.
What exactly does it entail?
A lot of work and strenuous labor. Knowledge of medicine, theology, and white magic. You have to study the great work.
That's a pretty challenging...
That's why God has sent... Wonderful! Oh, glorious day! I have...
So, how do you plan to start training me?
With a test of your practice.
Oh.
I have my
There,
eye on
satisfied?
3 rare objects of great value.
Go on.
First, I need a tooth of Saint Procopius. Then I'll need a branch from a topping out hung on a church.
Bloody hell, that's a lot. About that tooth. It's good...
I know. Yes, it would be very difficult to gain such a rare relic, of course.
Here,
I'm listening.
enjoy
A
it.
layman named Procopius lives by the monastery. And it just so happens, thanks to my intricate medical knowledge,
How did you find out he has a sword?
as it happens, he told me at the time.
And how am I supposed to get it?
I haven't the faintest idea. You'll have to think of something. But maybe you'll be...
Wouldn't that be swindling people?
It is, and it isn't. If I sell that tooth as the tooth of Saint Procopius, then it certainly is deceitful.
Does it really matter whose tooth I...
Of course it does. The name Procopius in this holy land is shrouded with mystical power.
Fine. I'll get it from him.
Wonderful.
This topping out?
You're not a carpenter, it's...
No, I'm a black...
I see. Well, a topping out is a decorated spruce or a conifer tree hung on top of the roof of a new house to bring good fortune.
Well, then all we need to do is break off a branch somewhere, buy a few ribbons, and we've got our own...
You don't understand, young man. The topping out was sanctified by a priest, and it hangs on the highest church far and wide.
Fair enough. That topping off is hung pretty...
Naturally.
Coming?
It hangs on the rooftop according to...
And how am I supposed to get it down?
Damned if I know. But they had to get it up there.
Very well. I'll get it.
There, satisfied?
This player's talisman.
I actually have a specific one in mind. Here at the inn, there's a dice...
A cat's paw? I thought players bring along a rabbit's paw for luck.
I thought so too. But this man is winning.
Oh. How am I supposed to get the talisman?
I haven't a clue. It won't be easy.
We'll see. Very well. I'll get looking for those things then.
Excellent! You do that, my journeyman.
About those other things you... I'll get look...
Excellent!
Would you teach me more about...
Certainly.
I'm interested...
Wouldn't you...
Well... Will you teach...
Certainly.
I'd like...
First you have...
Well...
You and your the bay. Vegetables, fruit, apples, cucumber, onions. Come get them. Lean, fatty, marbles, vegetable pie.
Yeah.
Who's there? Jesus! What is it you want, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
Onions are a lovely
God be with you, Henry.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
The Lady of Talmberg sent me. She wants me to find out why the crown's been delayed.
Through no fault of ours, I can tell you that. We had a large stone ordered for mounting on the crown, a beautiful Moldavite from South Bohemia that we had cut and polished in Prague. But, well, in short, the good merchant, Martin Wieseck, who was supposed to bring it from Prague, got lost along the way. It's like the ground swallowed him up.
Well, Lady Stephanie won't be happy.
Look, we've got something else here we can replace the stone with, but I'm sure even you can see it's not worthy of a noble wedding, and definitely not worthy of our fine craftsmanship. Oh, if I only had someone who'd try to find the Moldavite.
Why don't you just ask me? Of course I'll try to find the stone. Just tell me where the fellow was seen last.
That fellow, as you call him, the esteemed merchant, Martin Wieseck, was last seen riding alongside the Sassau River, passing by the footbridge over the ford, to the west of here. Evidently, he never made it to Sassau town.
Well, I'll look for him, but he could be far over the mountains by now, or under the ground.
God be with you.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my God. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Rattay unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
First, you have to cool it down with water. Marigold ointment helps, and it's better if you don't bind it and let it breathe.
You do know what you're talking about. Looks like blacksmiths know about more than just pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth? Nothing to it. As long as you don't squeeze the pincers too hard and crush them.
Well, go and see if anyone needs anything. Just don't go pulling anyone's teeth.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe. But convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, that's all.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week, Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power. These wounds have been well taken care of. I'm not needed here. These wounds have been well taken care of.
Christ above!
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and...
Maybe I can make you something.
Oh, then for God's sake, do...
God be with you.
He'll be able to get out of this on his own. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly.
Help me.
He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. Everything here is fine. I'm not needed here.
What do you want?
You look all right.
Please. Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the Cumans wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing.
I can't stay here.
I've got bandages, so I can take care of it.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
Yeah, a long time ago. But unfortunately, I've had to learn a thing or two about the art of medicine since then.
Well, fine then.
Good luck to you.
How are you feeling?
Good. It feels clean.
It will. Tell them to rebandage you daily.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Don't mention it.
Take care now.
What are you doing here?
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't...
Weeks? My God, I have to get back to...
What's the problem?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master, where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like...
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
If that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of. But others are dying here needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this, I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
I just won't get any sleep.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
Well, that's true. He comes to visit Johanka. But he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world, and the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. I can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm shamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
What happened to Philip?
Philip?
He's unconscious. He's shivering and he has a fever.
Ah, I didn't know that. When he first came here, he was fine. No wounds on him. He was escorting the others. Then he got worse and worse until he lost consciousness entirely. Ask Johanka. Maybe she'll know more.
Do you know anything about herbs?
I'm not an expert, but I know a little something. Is it urgent?
Well, one of the workers who was injured during construction would like to get back to work. He mentioned some purple flowers that would...
Herbs.
Oh, purple herbs that should help.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you can have a look in the herbarium here. There won't be too many purple herbs for bruises and sprains.
How about some potion to induce heavy sleep?
Certainly. The old reliable.
Reliable?
Some of the brothers like a good sleep, and sometimes that's the only way to get one. I'll show you how.
Thanks.
I can't. I just can't.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
To be honest, not really.
So what am I supposed to do with you? Well, never mind. At least you'll learn something new. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there, and then pull up the weeds in the herbaceous beds. Is that clear?
Clear.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelions, stinging nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
I see.
Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back, and woe betide you if you...
Don't worry, you've never had as good a guard. How do I know?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion...
Where is it they're not supposed...
Between the mint and the...
Would you teach me more about...
Certainly.
I'm interested...
Wouldn't you wrong...
Quiet.
Well... I'd like to discuss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, who's there? Who's there? Well, I never. The pig turns up willingly for the slaughter. Over here! Where is everyone? Quick! Come here, Lily Liver. Raise the alarm! Watch out! I'll slaughter you!
I'll send you straight to hell.
Who's there?
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
About that Moldavite we discussed.
Yes. Do you have some news?
Yes. The good news is I found Vizek.
That sounds like cause for rejoicing, but how come he isn't with you?
That's the bad news. He didn't survive.
Merciful God. He was a good and highly respected man. I will pray for his soul. Anyway, let me see the stone, if you would be so kind.
Of course. Here it is.
Excellent. It looks undamaged. I'll get straight to work. You can come for the finished crown tomorrow evening. Farewell.
Yeah! who are you?
Brother Elias.
What do you do here?
What I can. I'm just trying to help the Skalitz locals as much as I can.
How long have you been helping here?
Since before the refugees arrived. It was much less crowded back then.
And what do you do here exactly?
Mainly, I help Brother Nicodemus. Occasionally, I keep watch at night in case. Sometimes I have to hold the patient down.
Do you know anything about healing?
A little. I can manage the basics, but without Brother Nicodemus...
Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
I can't.
I'm honoured that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
Whose house is this?
It's our local custodian's, the most esteemed Sir Sebastian, Baron von Berg.
You don't seem to think very much of him.
But of course I do. A man with a nose so stuck up that it acts as a rain funnel can't be all bad.
What does the custodian do anyway?
Well, he's meant to look after the local community and keep the peace.
But
in fact, he seems more interested in robbing everyone blind.
I'm much obliged.
Don't mention it.
You look bored.
Beyond tears.
How can you be bored here in Sasau, in such a holy place, filled with knowledge?
Don't even talk to me about it. They won't let you touch the books. They don't want to talk to you. And when I wanted to look at the remains of St. Procopius, at least, they ran me off. Me! Like some kind of thief. What good is the whole blasted monastery if I can't even do that?
Maybe I could help you.
How? You're not planning some mischief, are you?
No, not at all. I was going to bring you something from the cave under the monastery where he spent his time. You can get in there, you could touch it for luck, and then I'd return it.
Oh, now. You do that for me?
Of course.
Then I'd be very grateful to you. Farewell.
I'm looking for whoever's in charge.
The construction's led by Master Builder Corell. You'll recognize him easily enough. He's the only one who doesn't look like a labourer. But if you want to talk to the overseer, then he's probably in his study at the top of the stairs in the gatehouse.
Sosna mazle nakládá. Pijme, chlapci, pijme.
Aye, but better to save a few if I can than risk them all dying.
True enough. That'd be much worse. If you're not working here, clear.
You've got no business here.